Welcome back to another video of Especially Freedom. Today I wanted to cover what I think is the best way to actually sell on Whatnot. One of the things I've actually been talking to people about is a lot of people start at $1 sales. They're losing money. A lot of people have actually been reaching out asking how you make money on Whatnot, especially while you're losing money. Because a lot of people think you have to lose money or sell low to make money or to grow bigger on Whatnot. And I can here to tell you that is not the case. A good example of that is kind of like, I'm gonna use real estate as an example. If I sell 10 homes at 100,000, I make $1,000 profit, or I sell one $1 million home and I make 10,000, which one is less work? So for me personally, yes, I've done $1 sales. Usually that is just to move out old inventory, but it does based on your buy cost. I always tell people don't lose money. My buy cost is usually low enough where I'm not losing money on that. But let's say you're paying $1, you might want to do a $2 show. That's a good way to get followers. But while you're gaining those followers, you actually might be gaining followers you don't want in the future. For example, if I do only $1 shows all the way up to 1,000 sales, which a lot of people want to get to because then you get the instant payout, are those the followers I actually want? Meaning, if I then switch and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna start selling $10 items, a lot of your original followers aren't used to that price range and they probably won't be buying. So basically, you're starting almost all the way over. So in my opinion, right, so a good example is I sell a lot of Polo Ralph Lauren right now. And the way I'm doing that is actually starting at $5. I do get bid ups quite frequently, but I already had a base starting a little bit higher, right? So my buy costs on the Polo Ralph Lauren's are sub $3. So I'm still making money off of Whatnot, selling them at $5, but they do get bid up, right? But then when I switch and I sell jackets, hoodies, or something at $10, it's not unusual for my group of people to also bid on those items and then bid those up even more sometimes, especially if it's a Nike, center swoosh or something like that. So for me, it is actually what I have found to be easier to sell high dollar items, less of them, because I'm making more, right? So if I have vintage clothing, I don't want to sell it, I might sell it at $1, it might run up to $3, but I only made maybe $1 profit, versus I'm starting at $5 and I'm making the profit I want, which is $3.50, let's say, and I can run through and I might only get 10 sales. That's still better than a $1 one, where I'm either breaking even, losing money, or barely making it, right? So in my opinion, it's actually better to start at the value you want to sell it. If you're getting graphic tees at 50 cents and you want to start at $2, you're still making money, right? At $1, you're pretty much breaking even. You'll make a few 10 cents, let's say, per item. But in my opinion, it isn't always better to sell a cheaper item just to get the follower group, right? Followers do help, obviously, in the future. You have the followers, they do bid up items quite frequently. But one thing to actually take into consideration is that follower group what you want to sell in the future? For me, I sell a lot of Polo Ralph Lauren, like I said, and I do sell, let's say, 20 to 40 items a show at a minimum of $5, but my buy cost, I'm still making $2 to $3 off of those, right? So for me, I'd rather get the high dollar sales and sell less of them, but make more money. Now, I know it can be addicting, especially for a lot of people, to get those sales, because it does feel good, right? Hey, you sold something, right? And you see the inventory moving, but it doesn't necessarily mean profit is moving. And that is something a lot of people are looking at. So when you're done selling items, go back and look at the actual financial part. So let's say you bought 50 shirts for $50. If you sell 50 shirts at $1, did you make money? The answer is you probably sold all of that, did all the packaging, everything else for $54. Now, if you take into consideration the labels, the packages, and your labor, did you actually make money or did it cost money? If you sell everything only at $1 and you paid $1, you lost money. If you paid 50 cents and now you're using all your packaging supplies, you still probably lost money and it didn't get you anywhere except for maybe some followers and possibly some followers. My opinion is run it at the price point where you still make money and you're growing the base of things you want to sell in the future. Now, obviously, trends change. Polo Ralph Lauren is hot right now. Carhartt was hot a couple weeks ago. It's still pretty hot. You can sell Carhartt pretty good, and I can get Carhartt for $2 to $3. You pick it up, you sell it for $5. You make a couple bucks, and you can push a lot of them out. But let's say I get hoodies for $5 and I'm selling them for 10 and I'm making a good profit margin. I'd rather just start it at 10 and get less sales but make more money than if I started them at 5, right? And hope I get a bid up or break even just to get followers. My opinion, like I said, if you're building a follower base, it's better to build the follower base you want in the future. So if you want higher dollar sales and you're going to continuously get something, whether it's polos, denim jackets, whatever it is, I would start at the price point you want to make and then sell that price point. Those followers, the people that do follow you, know what the price point is and they're comfortable with it. If you go from a $1 sale show all the way up to a $10 sale, the normal $1 people have been seeing you for months are now confused. They're not used to that price point necessarily, right? It's about being conscious of your customer and then working your way backwards, right? So if my customer's used to $1, throwing a $10 might be hard. Whereas if my customer's used to a $10 and I do a $1 show just because I want to move inventory, they are all going to show up and they're willing to spend more money. So think about your customer when you're doing this and then plan for that. That was just my experience. Throw down in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is what's been working for me. But thanks for tuning into another video. See you on the next one. Oh yeah.